5-week pregnant symptoms. Although there are no visible physical changes during the 5th week of pregnancy, the baby inside a mother's womb is growing quickly. The 5th week of pregnancy has a lot of significance because the symptoms of pregnancy begin to show during this time. Now, this does not mean that your tummy will start growing. Rather, no one can actually detect that you are pregnant just by looking at you during this week. However, there are certain other symptoms that you may be able to notice. First of all, most women come to know that they are pregnant during the 5th week as pregnancy tests begin to show positive results around this week. Several changes will be happening in your body due to the presence of the tiny little embryo inside, causing the occurrence of several pregnancy symptoms. Development of the fetus during 5th week. Though the size of the baby is just a millimeter long, that is not larger than the size of a pea during the 5th week of pregnancy, it begins to grow at a high rate. The beginning of this week marks the development of various vital organs of the body, including the bones, muscles, and even the central nervous system. Also, the baby's body begins to take shape during this week, though one may not be able to identify its head or tail. It is also said to be the week when the heart begins to take shape, and usually by the end of this week, it starts pumping blood. Along with all these developments, growth of the placenta and the amniotic sac also begins during this week. 5 weeks pregnant symptoms. As the baby goes through a variety of developmental changes, the mother also begins to experience some changes which can be called 5 weeks pregnancy symptoms. So, if you are 5 weeks pregnant, here are some of the symptoms that you will experience. One of the most common and the earliest possible signs of pregnancy is missed periods. If you have been trying for a baby or are sexually active, a missed period surely can indicate a pregnancy. Hence, if you have missed your period this month, taking a pregnancy test will surely determine whether you are pregnant or not. As the milk glands begin to develop during pregnancy, tender and swollen breasts can also be observed. Apart from tender and sore breasts that cause much discomfort, you may also observe that the areola around the nipples have grown darker during this week. Many women also begin to experience vomiting and nausea from the 5th week of pregnancy. Though it is called morning sickness, the feeling of nausea and vomiting may be present throughout the day. However, usually morning sickness does not go beyond the 1st trimester, but there have been cases where women experienced this problem throughout their pregnancy. Another symptom that is seen during the 5th month is extreme fatigue and tiredness. You may observe that you feel tired and need to take rest quite frequently throughout the day, even without doing much work. One of the most common symptoms can be said to be the urge to urinate frequently. This happens because of the excess pressure that the growing uterus puts on the bladder. Some other symptoms that can be seen during the 5th month include a rise in vaginal secretions and headaches that occur because of hormonal changes. It is also likely that you may feel extremely hungry during this stage of pregnancy. Important tips. As the first few weeks of pregnancy, especially the 1st trimester, is said to be the most sensitive period, extra care should be taken during this time. As the risk of complications are highest at this stage, any sign that you think is abnormal, that is, if you stop experiencing the symptoms of pregnancy suddenly, your gynecologist should be consulted immediately. Those symptoms like morning sickness and fatigue can cause lot of discomfort. There are lots of ways with which you can treat them. For morning sickness, you can try drinking ginger tea or maybe lemon juice, which may help you get rid of nausea. Also, indulging in exercises is necessary for yours as well as the baby's health. However, it is important to consult a doctor before you begin any kind of exercises. Inculcating healthy eating habits is the most important factor that you have to keep in mind during the early weeks of pregnancy. As the fetus is developing at a fast rate, your body needs extra calories for yourself as well as for the baby. Hence, remember to inculcate lots of fruits and vegetables in your diet. The aforementioned symptoms need not be the same for every woman. Actually, many pregnant women do not experience morning sickness during their pregnancy. Hence, do not fret if you do not have any symptoms of pregnancy. Rather, visiting your gynecologist regularly will ensure that you are up to date about your baby's growth and development.